So this podcast is mainly about Annapurna Base Camp. So how did you choose this Annapurna Base Camp? That was your first trekking, or how it is?
Okay. Annapurna Base Camp wasn't my first trek. I have done like 3 to 4 treks previous.
You were planning and getting information about the Annapurna.
Exactly.
Like once you decided, on these dates we are going to start the trip. How did you plan your itinerary? What are the main things we need to keep in note, and how long the trek will take?
Like coincidentally, I was also planning for a vacation, this year vacation, like during May. So I got exactly like 12 days.
Usually in a day, how many kilometers you need to be trekking likewise?
It's
And your did you carry all your bags, or you have some porter to carry it?
That's the main point actually. So each day it's till ABC it's 4 days I have told. So each day we have to walk averagely 9 to 10 kilometers.
Okay.
And on the first day I was like carrying my whole luggage around like 10 to 12 kgs.
Correct.
Even though I was like very specific about like what I have to carry. That was one mistake I have done in that trek. I should have even.
So hi Madhumita, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva.
Okay. So yeah, you can introduce about yourself to the audience.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you, Shiva. Thank you for having me here. Smita, I am an IT consultant by profession, and I hold a MBA from IIM Kashipur, and I love traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, mainly this channel is about traveling only. So why you like traveling?
In the sense that why I love is it genuinely what I would say is it has been a inbuilt trait to me. Like no one has inspired me, or it didn't like came out of nowhere. Like suddenly I got an interest. Like from the childhood, it was like a part of me. I love traveling, and it excites me more. Say for some people, like buying a luxury brands and or buying a sports shoe even.
Correct.
Like it excites them. But for me, traveling to new places and meeting, exploring like new people and their culture, yeah, this is what excites me, and I feel this gives me a sense of purpose as well.
Correct. So mostly you want the experience part of life, not the materialistic part of life.
Yeah, I basically prioritize the experience more than the materialistic things in life. I want to like gain as much as experience, and I wanted to connect with many people and explore cultures and other things in the world.
Okay. So this podcast is mainly about Annapurna Base Camp. So how did you choose this Annapurna Base Camp? That was your first trekking, or how it is?
Okay. Annapurna Base Camp wasn't my first trek. I have done like 3 to 4 treks previous to Annapurna Base Camp, but this is a long and an high altitude trek.
Correct.
So earlier and all, I have done high altitude treks, but of like 1 day or max to max 3 days or 4 days. But this is a very long and high altitude trek that I've done, and it's not. I have decided. It's not like I've decided in a blink of an eye. I have been like watching videos about Annapurna for the past 2 years. I've been like thinking whenever I came across like some video, I used to think like one day I'll also do this. I'm going to do this one day. Okay. And this year, when the Annapurna season has actually started, it's in summer it's from like April to June, and in the winters it is from September to December. Correct. My social media was like flooded, like flooded with the videos of Annapurna.
Once you start searching something, then the algorithm will suggest only those videos.
Exactly. Okay. And you know what they have done to the Hamta Pass trek. It has been like flooded this time.
Correct.
So it has been like not only because of the social media, and I was like gathering some of my friends as well to get me with the trip. I was asking, and some they were like everyone had like some of the other commitments, so I canceled the plan, and I thought, okay, let's do, maybe we'll go on the winter season or something. And then again, one of my friends like suddenly came and asked like, did you like research anything? Did you like get any trekking groups contact or something? And then I thought, okay, it's like universe is pushing me towards this, so I have to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went and I basically booked all the tickets, and I packed and I
Correct.
did
Like
it.
since 2 years you are planning and getting information about the Annapurna.
Exactly.
Like once you decided, like on these dates we are going to start the trip. How did you plan your itinerary? What are the main things we need to keep in note, and how long the trek will take?
Okay. So how I planned was like coincidentally I was also planning for a vacation, this year vacation, at like during May. So I got exactly like 12 days with all the weekends and all together. I got 12 days. So that 12 days I don't wanted to basically waste in traveling.
Okay.
So I thought like I have to use as much as possible. I have to make good use of the whole 12 days.
Okay.
So from Chennai to Pokhara, it took one day. Like I didn't while going, I didn't take the Kathmandu route because Pokhara is like nearer as well, and I chose to fly both ways because
From Chennai, where did you went?
From Chennai I went to Gorakhpur through flight, and from Gorakhpur to using either you can go with public transport, or there are like plenty of cabs also available, private cabs. So through that, like we have to reach the Sonali border. There we can exchange the cash, and overnight bus. I have taken an overnight bus to reach Pokhara on the next day. And on the second day, I have explored Pokhara. 3 to 4 places I have explored, and there is a very beautiful lake in Pokhara called Fiva Lake. It basically it's so huge that it covers the entire city itself. Like wherever you go, it will be on the sides. So, yeah.
I think in the evening also they will do this aarti. Like how in Ganga Aarti they will do. Same like in the lake also they will do the aarti.
Yeah, aarti is also there, and it's a very huge lake with lots of activities and all. It's there.
Okay.
So from like the second day we explored Pokhara, and the trek started from Monday on. From Monday to next Monday. So it's total 8 days is for the trek.
Up and down.
Both ascent and descent. It's 8 days. 7 nights and 8 days. It's like that. But we can do it in 5 or 6 days as well if you go alone, like without any trek guides. If you choose the Jinu Danda route, you can do it in 5 to 6 days. But the thing is, I would recommend to basically explore this route. I'll tell why. And to do it in a proper 7 to 8 days, because you will have a proper acclimatization, and you will like gradually like increase the altitude. So it would be like better for your body as well to adapt. Then so Monday to Monday we started from Gandruk, a very
from
beautiful
Pokhara,
village.
how did you went to Gandruk? Like
From Pokhara actually I went with the trek group. So from that point onwards, they have taken care of everything. With the jeeps or private vehicle, they'll take you to the base village, which is Gandruk. So that's the first day. We just basically hike for 30 minutes or something to just reach our stay. And it's for a proper acclimatization, just to adapt there. And we spent overnight there. And on the second day, it's from Gandruk to Chomrong. It's another village. It's very beautiful village with all, when you wake up to a very scenic view where Himalaya is surrounded you. So it is also a very nice place. And on the third day from Chomrong, you will go to Daurali. It's almost like near to, on that day the route is, it's not that steep, but it's very long. And on fourth day from Daurali to Machapuchare base camp, it is you would have seen for most of the Annapurna videos and in the social medias and all, you would have seen the never-ending stairs they talk about. Like it's all about stairs.
Okay.
So it's this particular day you will be having like never-ending stairs, the stone steep stairs.
Okay. Entire day is you need to climb steps only.
Entire day we have to climb the steps. It is so steep, and you will gain an altitude in one day itself. You will gain around 1,000 meters. Because when it's a normal plain route, means even though you go long, the altitude you reach is very less. But if it is like total steep stones, means like steps, means you will be like reaching a great altitude in one day. So from Machapuchare base camp to next day we went to Annapurna base camp, the final day, and that was also a very I couldn't even still forget that
after
view.
After 2 years of planning, that was your final day of visiting Annapurna base camp.
Exactly. We can't like match anything to what we see in videos or something. It's literally a different emotion altogether. I literally broke down and even cried because the trek was a bit moderate to hard, and
Doable
it will
only.
test you.
Uh,
So after all these struggles, once we reach that
Top.
summit, no, they'll be having a board actually for all the trekkers,
Correct,
like
yeah.
like congratulating. So I literally broke down, and that was the first time I even like broke down for some of my achievement.
so it's like some of the greatest achievement you did in your life.
It felt like I've done a very big thing.
Nice.
And
How was the weather and all, like, because as we are in Chennai, it's very hot and humid.
um,
There it will be, what was the temperature? And
yeah, when I went there wasn't snowfall. That's there. It's not like a particular season or something. It's totally random there. Like with our trek guide itself, the previous batch they had a very high snowfall and they couldn't even see the 360 view of Annapurna.
like 1 or 2 days before.
How just 1 or 2 days before
Okay.
they couldn't see the whole
View.
360 view, and it was very foggy at that time. But when we went, it was all clear, no snowfall. Um, we had a 360 view of the entire range of Himalayas, so it was very nice actually.
Okay. Usually in a day, how many kilometers you need to be trekking likewise?
It's
And your like whether did you carry all your bags or you have some porter to carry it?
That's the main point actually. So each day it's till ABC it's 4 days I have told. So each day we have to walk averagely 9 to 10 kilometers.
Okay.
And on the first day I was like carrying my whole luggage around like 10 to 12 kgs.
Correct.
Even though I was like very specific about like what I have to carry. That was one mistake I have done in that trek. I should have even that's not a capacity. I overestimated myself and I thought I would be able to carry 10 to 12 kgs. But the Gangnam to Chomrong part is the very toughest part. Like for the half a day, you will like descend down and you will cross a river, and for the next half day, you will ascend. Like it's very steep, uh, and with carrying like even in the steep places, like trekking itself is hard, but with the luggage and everything, you will get exhausted so soon. So one advice, what I would give is pack as low as possible, and 5 to 6 kgs it's possible and it's fine for these long treks and all. Or else, if you are like if you think you could hire a porter, it's best you can hire a porter and have it with them. Or else, say for example, if you are going to shoot something and if you have all the basically video gears and everything, now of course you should have the porter. If you're capable of having a porter, then it's fine. Or else like pack as low as possible.
So what are the other challenges you faced during your trek?
So one of the major challenge I faced is altitude sickness. It started from Machapuchare base camp. When I reached that altitude around
This is
4,000.
your highest altitude which you went in your entire life, or you have
Yeah, this is the highest altitude I went in my entire life.
Okay.
So when we reached around 3,500 meters, like I went to Kedarkanta as well, but there to the summit we'll just go there, and in the summit we'll stay only for 20 to 30 minutes and we come down
back,
actually.
correct.
But here you have to stay in that place for 2 days, right? Like so that was the struggle. So it started like for me, I was like feeling nauseous and I lost my appetite. I couldn't eat anything, even if I feel like I couldn't even feel like eating. So one, it's a very bad decision. I still regret that I did. I skipped 2 meals. So so what happened is it totally drained me. I couldn't even like walk when I was like descending down. So that was one of the bad decision. Even like my trek leader was like telling it again and again. Even many people were having this issue. Some felt headache, some felt like nausea. So, some even had short breathness.
So we can't predict if you go to high altitude, everybody has different kinds of side effects.
Yeah, this is actually it's normal when it's not a normal thing that we do now. Because we are like reaching an altitude, we are never used to.
Correct.
So you will feel certain headache and nauseous, but make sure you always stay hydrated and in regular intervals, just fuel yourself like with some proteins or nuts or something. But don't skip your meal. That's one lesson I have learned. And after when I so I just went total week, and while climbing down in one of our lunch place, Upper Dowan, I forced myself to eat a lot, and then I just left some time, and after that it's all good. Like I have gained my energy until till I reached Genu Danda. Till I complete the trek, I was all good.
But while climbing, even though if you face a lot of challenges, once you reach the summit, like you might have forgot all the the physical challenges or the mental pressure. You'll
Yeah.
just enjoy the moment, right?
Very true. Even though there were like lots of struggle, the moment we reached there, it was like out of the world kind of moment. Like I was totally enjoying it, and
Okay.
I was just sitting silently, and I was looking the whole 360 view of Himalayas, Annapurna South, and there will be like they'll call fangs. Okay, Annapurna has 12 fangs, and Annapurna one. It was so big, and in front of Annapurna we are nothing.
Okay. Crazy. And like during while climbing for the trek, what are the safety measures there in the trek? Uh, people who have this in kind of health issues. What are the hospital is there, and even the washroom facilities, like because we know at the end it will be good, but while trekking we may also need a lot of necessary basic needs, right? Whether in the trek it is everything is available or how it is.
Yeah, this Annapurna base camp trek is not a survival kind of thing. Okay, so there will be plenty of villages during your travel. The whole point of time, in between, there will be lots of villages you will be crossing. So mostly in that villages only you will be like staying. That's why in all the places we will get good tea houses and a proper food and everything will be there. In Macha Puchare base camp, we had pizzas.
Okay.
Okay, and even for one of the person in my group, she had a birthday. Even we celebrated a birthday there. So everything is available since because people normal, everything is available there. It's not like we don't have bathrooms and everything. But in between the in all the checkpoints that you reach, you will be having all the facilities.
Okay. Like, what are your same like this birthday moment? What are the other unforgettable moments you had in this, almost a 10-day of trip?
So in this trip, like there were lots of places. I would say the scenic views and it's still in my eyes. Like Gandruk, one such village is Gandruk. So it's a very beautiful village with a very less population. The people live a very peaceful and a non-materialistic life.
Correct.
They have a small farms nearby, so they do their own vegetation, and they have their own small school, playground, and a temple, and a small community, and surrounded by Himalayas. It's that village is
like very peaceful.
Yeah,
And
very
simple
peaceful
life.
and a simple life they are basically living. By seeing that, like I have become very envy on them, like envious on them that no, like this is life, like whatever they are living. Uh, that's one unforgettable moment, and also the routine that I have got into. Here in my home, it has been more than 3 years, I guess, since I've seen a proper sunrise.
Correct. Usually we don't see.
Usually we don't even wake up at 5 or 5:30, right? In the trek, all days, mostly around 8 to 9 days, I used to wake up at 5. I used to watch the sunrise, take a time lapse video in each and every spot, and no distractions, no notifications, nothing. I used to connect with people, and and even I decided not to like rush. No one is going to like give me any medal or something for going first. I was like basically connecting with all others. That's one thing I like about group trips.
Okay.
So from all over India, people came.
Correct.
So we connected with them.
So from Chennai, you went alone only, or you went with your friends?
No. From Chennai, I went alone.
Only.
And I had 3 of my other friends. One I met from one of my past trek, and one was my college, college mate, and one we basically we I knew him through this group only. So we four were together all the time. But connecting to people and trekking trekking and then coming and resting at the particular place and having nice food. So it's that routine. And again, I'll have a good sleep. Then again, morning I'll wake up at 5. So this routine is what I can't forget. Like,
Okay.
and now I could feel like how I was and now what I'm doing here.
So that's what I want to ask. Like, what impact this trip gave it to your life, and like, what the one thing you want to follow or take it from the trip and try to implement from now on? Like, what impact it created this trip?
Obviously, I'm not the same person before. How to put it? I'm not the same person as I was before going the trip. Now I see a lot of changes.
Mm.
I think it's because you will get a lot of lone time to think a lot of
Correct.
things. So I had a lot of questions, and I was literally everyone will have certain something or the other will keep on questioning us, and it will be on our mind all the time.
Correct.
So, but I didn't have the space to rethink about it, or just to have some space, just me and myself, like thinking a lot of things about life and everything. So I got that space, and I basically when I came back, I just had the clarity that I needed. So that this trek gave me that space and a lot of friends and everything, and no major change as such. It gives me a sense of clarity.
Nice. So the biggest question when someone watches this video is mostly the female people. Like what they will think. What was your family reaction? Like what your mom and dad know whether like if you want to go for a solo trip for a 10 day trip means mostly there will be a lot of restriction from your family. So how was your parents? Whether they are support you or what challenges you faced from your parents?
So when I first said, obviously all the parents will be worried, and also it's in another country.
Mhm.
So earlier they were worried only, and I again and again I pushed hard that I wanted to go.
Okay.
Then uh, they were okay, but they're concerned about like who is coming with
Going
you.
along,
Is there some what our parents will ask us, is there any company, so that we could like call and
Mhm.
basically get to know that you are safe or something.
Okay.
So all the girls, what I would say is in the trip, other than us, other than the me and my friend, another friend who was my college mate, all the other people came alone.
Okay.
Even if they're girls, they came alone, and somehow it's a group only. So it's not like you're going to do the entire trek alone.
Okay.
It's we are doing it in a group, so somehow we'll get good friends over there, and we'll get a good company.
Correct.
So that's not an issue. But if your parents don't allow going alone, gather people, gather your friends, and
At least one good friend who can they trust and come along with you.
just grab your
Or
friend
you
and go.
grab your mom and dad with you if they are willing to come for the trip.
But if it is, this physically challenged trek means they can't come, right? So, but grab your friends, or else many people are doing, solo female treks and all has been nowadays it is growing, and a lot of female travelers are traveling alone, and there is no need to like worry or fear about it.
Okay. So what was the total estimated budget for this trip?
So for me, it cost around 75,000. But
including flights, everything, or
I chose to fly both ways. So for the flight, it cost me around 30,000. And for the transportation, it's up to you how you travel. If you have more days, you could have taken train as well, and the entire journey you could have covered it in around 6,000 to max 10,000.
Okay.
That's
Instead
up to
of
you.
30, 6,000
6,000 or 10,000. If you have more time, you can go to Gorakhpur, and from Gorakhpur you can take a government bus, which is 150 or 200 rupees, and from there again to Pokhara overnight bus.
Correct.
It starts from 500 or something. So it totally up to you how you travel. Transportation is the major part, since because I didn't have time, so I chose to fly. But transportation is totally up to you. And for trek, it cost me around 25K. It is a very good deal, I would say, because the major established trek groups and all, they're charging around 30,000 to 40,000. But for ABC, if you go alone, according to my understanding, it will cost you more only. Okay. Because when you reach higher altitude, the demand is high. You won't get proper
So accommodation, everything will be bare minimum accommodation. How much they will charge in a tea houses over there?
Actually, accommodation at the lower places in the lower villages are around 500 or 1000. But when you go above and above, when the altitude is higher, the demand gets higher because there are like very less tea houses only. And in the ABC camp, it's just only two accommodation is there. So if it is a trek group, means they'll have tie-ups, so they'll have a lot of local contacts as well. So they'll arrange everything in behalf of you. So it's better to go with the trek group, and even when it's a very new place, they'll know a lot of they'll know better than you, and they'll have the local connections and entirely like from accommodation, food, and even power like charging facilities, hot water, everything they have covered under that particular budget package, and even the permit as well. So they have covered everything in 25. So if you get any deal from 20 to 25, it's a very good deal. So you have to.
So the 20 to 25 is for entire seven nights
7
and
to
8
8 days, yes.
Okay, then it seems like good deal only. All.
Yeah, and even with the like pick up and drop from Pokhara.
Okay.
So
from Pokhara to Pokhara,
from Pokhara to Pokhara, it's 25. It's a very good deal actually. And if you want to hire a porter, it's extra charge, but it's up to you. If you are, if you will be able to manage to hire a porter, you can. But it costs more only for porter and for this horse and everything. It costs
mainly
more.
This food and all. What are the foods available over there?
Mostly.
And what food you had during your trip?
Actually, the major food is dal bhat. So it's rice and dal. It's like that staple food and it's available, and many things were available: noodles, fried rice,
almost everything.
Everything
pizza,
was available.
You also said pizza.
Even at some places, pizzas were there. So everything was available. But the thing is, it's very costly in the mountains. So if you like, go in a package means it will be economic for you. But if you just go alone, for a single leg, they cost around 200 rupees. And for watermelon juice, it's 500 rupees. So it's costly, a bit costly.
Okay. Like what are the things you used to carry? As you told, like we need to minimize the weight of what are we carrying. Like what are the essential things one need to carry during this Annapurna trip?
So the main essential thing is 3 sweatshirts, 3 to 4 sweatshirts.
Okay.
That's enough. And 2 pants. It may not be like a waterproof and all. It can be a dry fit. And thermals. It's necessary, and down jacket and upper jacket. Upper jacket can be waterproof. Because if it snows, it will help you. And a neck warmer is needed. And yeah, that's it. Poles is mandatory because it stairs. It will help for your knee support. Stairs and a proper waterproof shoes. Because there, even in the end of May, from June, it starts to rain heavily there. That's why they stopped the entire trek. Now it's actually flooding in the Gandruk region and all. So it's better to have a proper waterproof shoes because we don't know when it will get rain as well.
So you don't need to carry this the ice walking.
No, not in Annapurna. We need not have the spikes, gaiters, and everything. It's just a normal shoes are enough.
Okay. Like if someone wants to do this trick entirely solo, like without any guide, or they want to do all the way alone, what are the tips and suggestions you tell them? Like starting from taking the permit also.
So, that's what if you can do it alone. But the thing is, one day before you have to reach there, you have to take the permit. In Pokhara, there is a permit office, so you have to go there and you have to do all by yourself. So then after you start your trek, you can start from Jinudanda instead of Gandruk. So from Jinudanda to Chomrang, it will take around 2 hours. So there you can have a acclimatization, and then you can finish up the whole trek in 5 to 6 days. But the thing is, don't go on the peak season, like at the start, April or September. At that time, what will happen is lots of people will be there, and most would have pre-booked the tickets using these packages and everything. So if you are going alone without any pre-booking, there won't be like any accommodations available when you reach Macha Puchare or ABC. I have seen many people like going back either to the lower village or straightly going to ABC and coming back on the same day
Oh.
without, that it would be very exhausting as
Correct.
well. They wouldn't have.
Accommodation is also not properly taken. Like we can't say what will
It's
happen to them.
then I have heard some people basically they slept in kitchen and sofas and everything since because they didn't have a proper accommodation. So you have to compromise these things if you go alone. So
Okay.
it's better to go with the uh, you know trek groups.
Okay. Bare minimum, how much budget I need to carry with me?
So if you have to do this entire trek in a budget, you can do it in 40K itself. I'll tell you how. For the trekking, of course, it will take you 25 to 30 for sure. Even if you're going with the group or going alone, it is going to take you 30,000.
Okay.
Then other thing is transport. So transport, if you have good time and you can if you're like going through train and buses, you can like cover the whole thing in 10,000 itself.
Okay.
For me, actually, why it costs 75,000 is like I chose to fly both ways, and then the trek costed 25, and then other 25 actually I explored Pokhara and Kathmandu as well.
Okay.
In one days.
That doesn't include in the trek package.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you went alone.
I went alone. So I explored Pokhara and Kathmandu, and I explored some cafes, spas,
Okay.
and I bought some gifts for my family as well. So it costed around 20K.
Oh, okay.
So this you can avoid. It's basically depend on an individual how they wanted to, spend the extra money. So minimum in 40K you can do the ABC trip.
And what are the common mistake people used to do while this trip, and what are the common mistake someone need to avoid when they are going to Annapurna trek?
Not just Annapurna, I'll tell generally like what I've seen, in general, like just pack as like or else first just go for some small hikes and your capacity. You can basically weigh and like walk for just 3 or 4 kilometers. You can test yourself, like are you able to handle 10 kgs or 5 kgs or something. So pack as light as possible. So that's one thing. And second thing is always stay hydrated and keep regularly eat something, either fruit, nuts or protein bars or
You
something.
said we
Always have
can't
it.
able to eat if we have the higher altitude sickness.
But even that's what I would say. That's the biggest mistake I have done as well. Even if you vomit, just eat something. So eat and vomit as well, but just eat something so that your body needs some energy to climb up. So that's one thing. And the third thing is, if you're like starting right now, don't buy all the gears at the first time itself. I have seen many people, many people's decathlon's bill is costlier than the actual trip, actual trip itself.
Okay.
They think it's not like only if you have a proper trekking shoes you can trek. Okay, it might it's at first you can explore yourself, go 1 or 2 hikes and see whether you're liking, basically, because some people after 1 or 2 smaller hikes now they get fed up and they'll say trekking is not my thing. So first explore like are you liking it and everything? Are you able to like come out of the comfort zone and challenge yourself? And the second thing is, that's what, like, it need not be branded. The quality has to be there. That doesn't mean that everything has to be branded. Till now, I don't have a branded both upper jacket and the down jacket, thermals and everything. It's
So you went with whatever you have.
whatever I have, I just went it. Even for only for this trek, I bought a proper waterproof shoes. That's one good thing, but that's what I'm telling. Like, out of experience, you can just buy one by one. You know, like, what is working with me and what is not working with me. So you can buy it like out of experience, and a proper trekking bag is essential. These two things are very important thing, and poles as well. Everything, it need not be like branded and all. I just bought 500 rupees pole recently. I'm having it right now. So it need not have a before this all the 2 or 3 treks, I used to like go with my running shoes only. It's not a proper trekking shoes as well. But on the Kedarkanta trek, I've rented something. So if you're like not able to like afford it, you can
Correct.
rent it as well. Because somehow it's going to be muddy and everything. You have to come and clean yourself. Instead, you
Yeah.
can rent.
Mhm.
So you can use it and just for the pay for that particular period alone.
Right. So, what are the other usual things you used to do? Like in a day, we will wake up in the morning, you
Mhm.
eat, then you start your trek. Mostly within the sunrise, you will reach the next destination.
Mhm.
Then, what you will do after that? Like you will sleep, or you just chat with other friends, or you will
Actually,
explore the place.
no, we won't explore the place.
Okay.
Uh, Actually, we were exploring at the very start during Andruk and Chomrong and all. We were exploring, but when the day is very tiring, when we were like walking for uh, 8 to 9 hours straight, covering 9 to 10 kilometers, we
Okay.
used to be very tired and exhausted. So after coming back, we used to like change everything. The reason why I told to carry only 3 sweatshirts is this only. You can while during the trek you can wear one
Okay.
sweatshirt or your t-shirt, and when
While
you're like
sleeping.
back you can just dry it off and you can
Uh,
use the fresh one. So
okay.
when sleeping you can always have the fresh ones, and on the next day you can use the same clothes because somehow you're going to like sweat it out. It may hear gross, but even but this is the real survival. Even in 2 to 3 day treks, don't carry sweatshirts and t-shirts for each day. Don't calculate like that. Like for the 2 to 3 day treks and all, I would recommend just to carry 2 sweatshirts, one for the trek and one for the night.
Night.
That's it. So after we reach that particular place, when we are done with each day's target, we used to relax for some time. We'll have snacks, and we used to chit chat. We used to talk to parents. And one of the best things I have seen in Nepal is for the mountain regions alone, they have a separate SIM itself. It will have a very good reach.
Okay.
So
So, anyways, we need to buy a new SIM over there.
yeah, we have to buy a new SIM over there. Our SIM won't work actually. Even Airtel, nothing will work. We have to buy a SIM, and they have a separate SIM for this mountain regions because Nepal, this trekking is one major source of income actually. Like around 8 of the top 10 mountains are in Nepal actually. They for trekkers all around the world come to Nepal.
Correct.
So one good thing is the SIM. It will have a very good network connectivity, so no one can lost in lost in basically lost there. So I used to talk with my parents, and we used to rest for some time, and we used to chit chat and connect with all the people over there in my group.
Okay.
And then we rest and we start again the same route.
Next day. Like mostly in this kind of long trips, we used to meet other crazy travelers.
Yeah.
So likewise, you met any interesting people in your trip?
Yeah, I have met diverse people from diverse background. Even one doctor came with us, an investment banker or something. But one interesting uh, person I met, and the thing is, she was traveling solo for the past 1 year.
Okay.
Uh, she is into investment banking, and she has around 6 years of work experience. And for the then she took a break for 1 whole year. So she is traveling to other countries, and uh, Vietnam, I guess she went to Vietnam lately, and she did this trek, and yeah, of course she'll be like traveling the whole year as well. So that you know
What was your thought process when she shared her journey? Like I'm traveling for 1 year. You also feel like I also want to do similar thing.
exactly when I heard it, like I got influenced by it because
Okay.
I was thinking, okay, we'll whenever during a vacation maybe we can do it, but that's a pure traveler actually. She's basically giving a break to herself so that like there won't be any distraction. We need not like think about the job or going back home or any stress. She's just purely enjoying that 1 year.
Living in
Her
the
work,
moment.
living the moment. That for that 1 whole year, her work is to travel and enjoy. Right. That's what a traveler needs.
Correct.
So that particular decision influenced me. Yeah.
So you also planning to take a 1 year break
Not now.
immediately?
Not immediately, but I would think of it, after some time.
Sure. No, actually, there is a difference between this kind of short-term trips and going for a long-term trip.
Exactly.
Like long-term means minimum we need to go for a 3 month of continuous trip.
Yeah.
So it will give you like so many changes personally. You will get in clarity of like what you want to do in life, like who you are. All those answers you try to figure it out in those trips.
Very true. And I think everyone will be needing a break like that. But the thing is, honestly, like, if she is like doing it, she has planned it right. We have to plan it right. We have to basically, you know, uh, we have to get ready for that. Like, we need to meet all our liabilities the whole year. If we are
Correct.
planning to, have a break, our liabilities has to be met, and no one, everything we have to like figure out for. We have to pre-plan for that one whole year. So yeah, it takes time.
Okay. So, what was your final, message to the people who are going for Annapurna trip or like a trekking in common?
Okay. My final message would be, if you are like interested to trek, or if something is stopping you, like, why do you even fear? Don't there are lots of places to explore, and there are lots of things to know all around the world. No one is stopping you. You are the one who is stopping from inside. So yeah, if not now, then when? So,
Nice. That was my tattoo.
oh wow.
Okay. I think this podcast you might got. Where are the contract? Okay. So I think you might have get to know about so many insights about Annapurna tribe, like how you need to plan and all. So I think this video will be really helpful, and also we might have attached in the description about few details you can quickly go through if you are planning for Annapurna trip. So you can subscribe and share this video to whoever was planning to go for Annapurna trip. So thank you, Madhumita, for sharing your journey. I wish you will go for so many trips from now on.
Thanks a lot, Shiva, and whoever is watching. If this video helps them in any way, I'd be happy.
Okay.
And yeah, thanks for you as well for having me, and having this particular channel.
Correct.
And yeah, same you as well. Hope you visit so many places, and you do EBC as well soon.
Correct. Soon that is in the bucket list. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thanks.